Hello, my dear children. Welcome to today's session. So, what are we learning today? Today, we will be learning about importance of water, and that is our chapter number 11, the importance of water. We all know that water is an inevitable source without which no living being can survive. Plants or animals or human beings, everyone need water to drink, to survive, to live. And apart from drinking water, water is being used by humans to water the plants, to wash the utensils or clothes, to mop their floors, to brush, to bath, to uh, bath their pets, to clean their vehicles. So, water is used in numerous activities every day. So, it is very important for us to save water so that water does not get depleted from earth, because there is only very less water which can be actually used, although the 97% of water is salty water and we cannot use it. Only 3% of water present on earth can be used. It is fit for use. uh, Most of our earth, like 70% of the earth, is filled with water, but still most of the water is not fit for use. Only some part, and that is a very little part of water, that can be used for different purposes, and that's why we should save water. Let's start reading this chapter. What is the importance of water? Water is very important for all the living beings, as no living being can survive without water. We need to drink water many times a day to keep us active. There are many other important activities in our daily life for which we need water. So, we use water for many important activities in our daily life. We drink water to live, as it is essential for all living beings, and it is important for survival of all living beings who cannot live without water for long. We use water to cook food, wash clothes, utensils, and keep the house clean. We use water to bathe, to clean our hands. We use water for watering plants. In kitchen garden, in fields, we use water for irrigation of crops. So you see the picture given over here, in which water is being used for different activities every day. Now, frost, sleet, and hail are some examples of frozen form of water which we can see around us, besides snow during acute winter. We use water to generate electricity. So, apart from just the household activities, water is being used in vehicles, in factories, overall to generate electricity, which is called hydroelectricity. So, where the water is flowing with a very great speed, their dam is being constructed, and when the water flowing from with a very great speed get hits with the dam, a reservoir is being made where electricity is being generated due to the speed of the water. So, a huge amount of water is collected in huge reservoirs to generate electricity. We use water in industrial and production units. So, water is also used in various industries and factories. Water resources are used as medium of transportation also. So, people or goods travel through, they are transported through water, whether it is ship or boat or cruise or yacht, anything. Ship boats run on seas and river water for transportation of passengers and goods. Then there are various water sports which require river water or ocean water for performing such sports like surfing, river rafting, swimming. So various water sports use water resources. Then there are big amusement parks called water parks. We use rivers for rafting, surfing, and swimming. Various boat races during cultural events are also performed on the water in states like Kerala. So during Onam, big boat festival is being held in Kerala, and then it requires water. We perform various cultural and traditional activities and rituals in water or at the shore of water resources. Like Chhat Puja is being performed in water, Ganpati Visarjan is being done in water. So these are the various uses of water in our day-to-day life on domestic purpose and in commercial purposes too. Now, what are the sources of water? Where does water come from? We find water all around us in different ways. So, if we look around, there are water in the environment on earth in different forms. There are snow covered mountains, and that's the solid form of water, the snow. Then there is rainfall, that's the liquid form. And in our atmosphere, there are water vapors present all the time, and that is also a form of water. We can see the dew, the water droplets early in the morning on plants also. So, most of the water on earth is collected in different forms, and these forms can be small ponds, waterfalls, lakes, rivers, oceans, seas. These are called resources of water. Planet Earth has two-thirds of its area covered in water. Two-thirds or 70% area of the earth is covered in water. That's why it appears blue also. And most of this water is found in oceans and seas. So unfortunately, this water which is present in the form of oceans and seas, that's the 97% of the total water available on earth, they are present in oceans and seas, and the water is salty and unfit for use. So unfortunately, this water cannot be used as it has salt mixed in it. The main source of water on the earth is rain. So the main source of water which can be used is rain. So the rainwater gets collected. Where does the rainwater gets collected? Ponds, rivers, lakes. That's the surface water. Also, the rainwater seeps under the ground, and it is called underground water. So we depend on surface water collected in ponds, lakes and rivers for our use. Water found in these resources are called fresh water and can be used by us. So the water which is collected through rain and it is collected in ponds, river, lakes, it is called fresh water. We can use this water for drinking after removing impurities. So the water in these water bodies can be used for drinking, but they cannot be consumed directly. First, all the impurities have to be removed. Now, the water from the rivers, they are comparatively cleaner than the water in lakes or ponds. Why? The river is, because the river is always flowing and the impurities keeps on flowing and eventually they settle down on the river bed, but the impurities in the stagnant water of lake or pond, they do not get deposited in the on the bed, and thus they are more impure than that of river water. So the water of river is clean because it keeps on flowing. The larger impurities get sunk at the river bed. The stagnant water gets dirty soon. Now, when it rains, some water gets seeped under the soil and it is collected under the surface of the earth. This water is also fresh water and it can be used for drinking and other purposes after removing the impurities. So the rainwater either gets collected on the surface or it gets collected under the surface, under the soil, called groundwater. And to get that groundwater out, we use various sources like hand pump, tube wells, or wells. Okay, so we dig holes on the surface of the ground of the earth and plant hand pumps which draw the groundwater. We also use wells which are dug deep and water is directly drawn from the wells. So these are the sources of fresh water. The pond, the mountains on which snow is there, the waterfall, the river, and these are the sources of groundwater, hand pump and well. Now, what are the forms of water? So there are three forms of water. Water is available in the form of ice or liquid water or in the form of water vapors. So it's solid, liquid and gases. In nature also, water is available in all these three forms, and water can change its form from one form to another, and changing of these forms continuously in the nature is called water cycle. And because of this changing form of water, rainfall is possible on earth. Let's see how. Water is very precious and unique. Water is only thing that is found in all the three forms in which things exist. Water is found as solid, liquid and vapor. It can be interchanged in all these three forms. Ice is the solid form of water, water is the liquid form, and water vapors are the gas form. All three forms are found in nature all the time. We can depict all these forms in form of water cycle. Now, what happens? I'll just explain you in short and then we can continue reading. Water is present in ponds, lakes, rivers, etc. That's the fresh water. Then due to sunlight, due to the heat and the light of the sun, the water from the water bodies, it gets evaporated. Okay, and when it gets evaporated, it changes from the liquid form to the gaseous form, and this process is called evaporation. When these water vapors come in contact with the cold air above in the atmosphere, they form small water droplets. Again, it becomes water. And when these water droplets come very close to each other, they form clouds. They form clouds. And when in these clouds, these water droplets come more near and then they form one big drop, such big and heavy that it cannot be any more in air, it again comes down in the form of rain or hail or in form of snow, and it again fills the water body. So this keeps on going, this cycle from here to here, here to here. It keeps on going and it is called water cycle. So this water cycle is responsible for rain on earth. The water cycle shows the changing forms of water around us. The liquid form of water present in river, ponds, lakes, seas, ocean, etc. gets heated with the heat of sun, and this heated water changes into gas form as water vapors. These water vapors are light in weight and rise above the land. They get collected due to cool air high in the sky. They get cooled down, and when they are cooled, they again take the liquid form and drops on earth in form of rain. And this is a beautiful picture of water cycle. Sometimes the temperature is very low above the sky, and the water vapors gathered in the sky get frozen and fall in the form of hail or sleet. In this way, this cycle keeps on taking place all around us. Now, let's write, why is water important to us? Water is important to us for our survival. Also, water is, apart from drinking, water is used in washing utensils, clothes, mopping our houses, keeping our toilets, bathrooms clean, brushing our teeth, bathing our pets, watering the plants, irrigation of fields, washing our vehicles, etc. What is water cycle? Changing form of water from one form to another is called water cycle. Now, this is about water and its forms, but it is very important to store water in the right form, in the right way. So, how should we store water? Water should be firstly stored in the containers which are very strong, which do not allow the water to seep out of them, and they are not leaky, and they are strong enough to hold a lot of water. The containers should be absolutely clean and they should be germ free. And whenever we have to take out water from the container, we should use a mug with a handle, and that mug should also be clean. Why should we use a mug with a handle? So that our hands do not come in contact with the water. All right, so let's see. It is important to store water properly. Water is very important for us. Every drop of water is precious and should be saved. So, water should be stored in such a way that it does not get wasted. We store water in containers, and the containers should be strong so that water does not get leaked. If the container will be such where the leakage of water is possible, slowly, all the water will be leaked and wasted. Containers should be cleaned on regular basis. They should be washed with soap to remove all the bacteria and dirt. This will keep water healthy to drink. We should store water in containers having a lid. We should keep the containers always covered. So the containers in which there is water stored, it should be covered. It should have a cover. It should have a lid. Otherwise, even mosquitoes can breed in it. We should take out water with a mug with a handle so that we do not touch the water with dirty hands. The mug should also be cleaned before putting in the water. So these are the different containers in which we usually store water in our households. For the larger storage, big tanks are being used and they are kept on the terrace on, and with these tanks, through the pipes the water comes in the taps of our houses. Now, why is there a shortage of water? In India, we mostly depend upon rains for our water requirement. That's correct. So, for our water requirement, we usually depend on rain. And in the areas where it rains a lot, the water gets wasted in floods. So, the area where it is raining a lot, due to heavy rains, floods also come. And due to floods, all the water gets wasted. We are not able to harvest it, we are not able to conserve it, we are not able to collect it. And in areas where there is very less or little or even no rain, they depend only on the groundwater. And if there is no rain, the groundwater keeps on depleting and there will be no groundwater at all if there is no rain at all for a stretched period of time. So the groundwater drops down if there are fewer shower of rains. So these areas get a shortage of water. So the areas where there is excessive of rainfall or the area where there is no rainfall, both these areas experience shortage of water. Now, in areas with less rainfall and remote water resources, it becomes very difficult for people living there to survive. So that's why they relocate themselves usually. So the areas where there is shortage of water, it always have a very little population of humans and animals. Either they leave such places and live somewhere near the source of water, or they have to walk long distance to fetch water. You must have seen the women in villages carrying the pots and the buckets to very long places at the long distances to collect water. Now the question is that why do we have scarcity of water? Because either there is very less rainfall, or there is such so much rainfall that there is a lot of floods also. Now the places where there is adequate amount of rain, people do not care about wastage of water. They keep on wasting water. They bathe in showers for like half an hour, for 1 hour, and water keeps on flowing and it is being wasted in the drains. Then the water is running and we are just brushing our teeth. We are not even bothered to close our taps. So these are the day-to-day activities by which we waste a lot of water, and eventually there is a scarcity of water. So why do we have scarcity of water? It can be due to less rain. The increasing population is one of the most important reasons of shortage of water. So the water is limited because there are limited water bodies and population is increasing. So the amount of water present is not sufficient for the number of people. Then wastage of water is the other main reason for water scarcity. And also the water pollution. The water which is available for drinking, people keep on polluting it, and it gets polluted to this level that even after removing the impurities and filtering them through various steps, they are not fit for drinking. Also, cutting down of forest has caused a water shortage. Why cutting down of forest? Because um, water vapors, trees actually, when they breathe, there are a lot of water vapors it produces. So when there are no trees, there will be no water vapors, there will be less water vapors, then less rainfall. Also, trees act as a natural barrier in the situation of flood. So when the trees are being cut down, the floods waste a lot of water. We should plant a lot of trees in our surroundings for water conservation. Now, what is conservation of water and how can we do that? Water is so important in our life that we should save even a single drop of water. It is valuable. We should use the water in a way that water is not wasted. We should try to use the water again and again, and this is called reuse and recycling of water. So it is very, very important to conserve water. First of all, to collect it, and then we have collected it, we should not waste it, and we should reuse and recycle it. Now, how can water be reused? It can be reused. We can use the water for washing clothes, for cleaning floors and other surfaces in house. So the water through which the clothes have been washed, the water present in the washing machine can be used for mopping the floors or for cleaning bathrooms and toilets. We should not leave taps open during brushing, bathing or washing. We should fill the bucket and then should close the tap. Leaking tap should be fixed without delay. While brushing, bathing, washing, tap should be closed. Bucket should be used. Mug should be used to use the water. Also, we should avoid using shower during bathing, and it saves a lot of water. A bucket and a mug should be used to water the plants. They should not be watered with hose pipes, because it wastes again a lot of water. We should not throw water left in bottles or glasses. We can pour this water into plants. So, whenever you go to school, you carry a water bottle. When you come back home and there is water still there in your water bottle, please do not throw it. You can just water the plants with that water. It is very important to save rainwater. We should follow the ways of harvesting rainwater. We can collect rainwater in buckets and use it for cleaning and washing later. So, whenever there is heavy rainfall, what you can do is you can place your containers in your balconies, in your terrace, in the gardens, and collect the rainwater. That rainwater later can be used for mopping the floors. Even after 2-3 days, when there is no rain, you can water the indoor plants also. Water coming from the roof during rain can also be collected in big drums and can be used for washing and cleaning later. This water can also be used for watering plants when there is no rain. So we should adopt every measure to save and conserve water. So these are the beautiful pictures which shows that how can water be saved and conserved using a bucket and a mug, closing the tap while brushing, collecting the rainwater and watering the plants which is left with the leftover water in your bottles and glasses. Now, these are the terms that we learned today. Surface water, water found in resources or the other surface of the earth. Groundwater means water collected under the surface of the land. Water cycle is changing of water from one form to another. Water conservation means ways of saving water from being wasted. Also remember that water is necessary for all living beings. Rain is the main source of water on earth. Water is found in these three forms: solid, liquid, and gas. Ice is the solid form of water, water is the liquid form, and vapors are the gaseous form of the water. Water cycle is interchangeable of the three forms of water into one another. Water should be stored in clean and covered containers. Water conservation is saving water from being wasted and using water with care. Let's complete this exercise and see what have we learned today. Rain is the main source of water. 97% of the water available on earth belongs to seas and oceans. Solid, liquid and gas are the three different forms of water. The interchange of forms of water into each other is called water cycle. We should conserve or collect the water of the rains. You have to take the correct statements and cross out the wrong ones. Water is very important for all living creatures, correct? We can live without water for a long time, false. River, lakes and ponds are examples of groundwater, false. Wells and hand pumps are used to draw groundwater, correct? We should reuse water to conserve it, correct? Identify the following resources of water. This is a well, this is a river, this is a waterfall, and this is a hand pump. You have to answer the following questions in your notebook yourself. We can discuss over here in short. Why do we need water? We need water to survive and to perform different activities on everyday basis. Please name the activities. How do we waste water in our daily life? Not closing the tap while brushing and bathing, not reusing the leftover water in our bottles or glasses, then using shower for long hours, watering plants with pipes and hose. So these are the different ways by which we waste water. Write any three measures of water conservation. We can just collect the rainwater, reuse the water, and save the water. What precautions should we take while storing fresh water? It should be stored in clean covered container, and anything by which we are drawing the water, that container should also be clean. What is water cycle? Changing of water from one form to another is called water cycle. These are some fun based questions that you can do yourself with your friends, with your family, and have fun with the chapter. You can draw a well labeled water cycle on a chart paper and pin it in your classroom. Now, we all know that we need to conserve every drop of water. So, the best way is to do that is rainwater harvesting. So, please follow the instructions and then draw in your notebook what you can draw. How will you store water in bigger amounts? How can the water be of rain can be collected? How can this water be distributed? Okay, then what you can think and draw is the following picture. How can we harvest the rainwater so that it can be used in future? You have to write any 5 ways in which we can reuse the water. I can tell you two, although I can tell you all, but I want you to think, discuss it with your friends, and write it yourself. So, like the first one, we can reuse the leftover water in bottles to water the plants. Water from in the washing machine can be used in mopping. Similarly, please think of other ways to reuse and recycle the water and try to follow them and save the environment, save the water. Keep learning, keep shining. Bye bye. That's all for today.